This is Edge of Eternity. We're here on Xbox Series X taking a look at this Final Fantasy-esque turn-based JRPG experience. I had filmed the beginning of the game, and it was actually quite a humorous and death-filled experience, which was quite entertaining. But I had a lot of corrupted footage due to some really intense frame rate stuff going on. And yeah, so let's dive in here. I'm just showcasing this is the first real world area that you go and you visit. So this is actually a fairly ambitious title. It's from a bit of a smaller group, and I think they've actually visually achieved something that is quite cool and quite interesting. So yeah, it's just this fantastical world. If you're used to JRPGs, used to stuff like Final Fantasy, I think you'll kind of know what you're getting here in terms of gameplay. And it is a very lengthy experience, apparently, and something that, again, scope-wise, it is quite impressive. So there are a couple different settings. So first off, you can go to the game settings here. There's a field of view. So if it's feeling too claustrophobic for you, you can go woo, way back. And yeah, just some quick settings for camera and everything like that. There's difficulty settings that are present, because apparently this game had grueling difficulty when it was on PC and stuff over time. They've apparently created this system that makes it easier. I will mention that you manually have to turn on the save everywhere option if you want to have the choice in the main menu here to be able to save at any point. Otherwise, you know, you're kind of going to be wondering saves and stuff like that. So there are two graphics settings options. We've got quality, which is 4K 30, and then performance, which I believe is like 1080p at 60 FPS. And again, you have to actually apply that with the X button there and make sure it's applied, in case you want to have that better option. So the game doesn't necessarily run perfectly well on either of the settings. So obviously having a higher frame rate is quite nice, but just keep in mind, you know, fluidity wise, it's not necessarily the best at either of the options that are present. But it is a very, very good kind of looking game, just in terms of the presentation. It really does feel like a fantasy world, which is quite cool. So we've got two characters here. We've got Daryon, which is kind of like our main character. He's part of the army. Everybody dies. He goes home because it's whatever. There's an alien planet and a planet invasion going on, and you know, you're kind of trying to fight back as a resistance. Things were looking good, but you know, they got mech robots and stuff, so it's kind of a lost cause. So, you know, basically, everything bad happens. He was supposed to go on a date with this lady, and, you know, everybody dies, and it's just tragic, and, yeah, now your mother's dying from this corruption thing that took one of your friends, and you're going back to your farm to visit your sister and your mother. So that's the second part of this, is, you know, Selene is another character that's a main component of this experience. And you're just kind of here, well, dealing with things, completing quests, battling, you know, that riveting turn-based combat, gorgeous fantasy world, heart-wrenching moments, and what is it, an enthralling story filled with plot twists? Alright, let me ride this thing. Purple whiskers, tracking active. I want to ride the giant creature thing. Anyways, let's go do this. What are these? That's a really weird sentient looking chicken monster. Anyways, there's voice work for both English and Japanese, if you'd like to do that. An advanced crafting system. And again, it's very, I want to say it's budget-esque, right? It's definitely aiming to be a lot higher of a quality experience than necessarily the workforce behind it. It's again, it's kind of like indie, but they reach really impressively high. You know, it's just, you know, music-wise and everything, it's kind of nice. Again, performance and stuff, I definitely think could use some work, but Yeah, it's kind of a really neat sort of experience. I find it to be kind of intriguing. It's not too bad. You know, I think you might find it to be a little bit fun if you like this sort of fantasy RPG kind of thing. You can apparently ride a giant two-tailed cat mount, so I want that to happen. And then there's something like they promised like 50 hours of gameplay, and I was reading into a lot of stuff on this one, and apparently it's like it feels a little bloated at times from what I've read. So just keep that in mind. But I do actually quite like the whole visual style that they've got going on here. I think, you know, they've actually got some impressive stuff going on. I think they've actually painted a pretty neat looking world within this game, which is kind of neat. It just, again, like, I really enjoy things that go for like a super high intense like kind of fantasy vibe to them. Not like, you know, Final Fantasy, but just like really fantastically weird and whimsical. Like, look at these cool trees and plants and stuff. Like, the art direction's pretty cool in this game. And the character models look pretty good. I want to say the cinematics are a little rough. Like, they hide things well, but at the same time, yeah, some of the cinematic segments are a little, they're very stilted and stuff like that. So I want to say it's actually impressive for what it is. It's kind of a cool experience. It's something you might have fun with if you like this type of game. You know, it's kind of cool. It's impressive in terms of mechanics and the scale and the scope of what they're going for here. So I do give them a lot of props for this kind of like presentation and effort. And I do hope that they continue to really optimize the experience and stuff for the platform. I mean, it is optimized for Series X technically, but I think they do also need to do a little bit more just to get it like really running smoothly and stuff, which would be ideal, at least in my opinion. So yeah, kind of, again, like a neat sort of game, and you can change like the camera mode options as well if you want to have a little bit of a, you know, a different visual experience. But they use a nice sense of particle effects and stuff in the world, and I do appreciate that you actually feel like there's a bit of like density in like the grass and the flora and stuff like that. As you can look around, you can see grass goes on quite far. It's not like particularly super sharp grass resolution wise, but it's like, you know, it's very luscious and full. And if you've played other games, you know, kind of open world games and stuff like that, it's really inconsistent usually how they handle grass in the world, grass and trees and stuff. So it's nice that it's actually like full and feels a little bit more realistic there. The Edges of Eternity. Oh, that was exciting. Now let's go back and deliver this purple whiskers. See, I don't know if you can tell, but it's sort of like, it definitely feels like it's chugging along a little bit, even at the quality mode and stuff like that. But seriously, cool sense of scope. Uh-oh.
Don't worry, I got this.
Can I flee? What are we even fighting right now? It's like some kind of like lizard thing on the ground there. It hides into the environment so well. So I'll probably show off more gameplay. I don't really have too many additional details to go about on this one. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, turn-based combat. Oh, there's that flee option. I mean, we'll kill this thing not too badly, so it's not a big deal. I will say there's a neat sense of, like, again, if you've played Final Fantasy, you've got this mix of, like, robotic, modern, or futuristic things. And then you've got, like, high fantasy with, like, this one lady had, like, I think a broom, or not a broom, that just sounds silly. So I was gonna say, like, a broomstick, but I'm like, no, she had, like, a giant staff and stuff and was shooting, like, you know, like, fire and whatnot. It really is just hilarious, the opening of this game. And the opening tutorial is, like, really long. It's like, an hour or something like that. Well, 40-something minutes. I was just like, holy. But, yeah, you kind of... You just get a glimpse into the world, and it's just like, nothing is good here, you know, they're all talking about their home life, and the things they want to do and stuff, and their war dedication, and then it's just like, death. High-octane death. I got such good chuckles out of it. It was almost like a little overly dramatic, which was kind of funny. Okay. Come on here, let's do this. I want to ride this stupid thing. Come on. How do I mount it? Oh, there it is! Let's go back to the performance mode for this. Oh, yeah! I'm so excited. Wait, that is on performance. Okay, there we go. Just double checking. Oh, what? This is incredible. Look at this thing. Wow. I love when you get mounts in games. It's so good. This is like really quite neat, actually. I'm loving the whole mount thing going on here. This is spectacular. I've just got like this mount thing, and it's just like big paws, and it's like a cat thingy that's like, why does it have these big tail flap things? Like, can it attack people? And look at that like fun like head thing with the feathers. This is cool. I am like floored by this. This is so neat. And you can see like it even handles like popping and stuff like pretty effectively well, which is neat. A wilderness shrine. What's going on here? You guys like my cat? Hello there. One sec, cat. I will return. A huntress. I know there's somebody that I'd like you to hunt. Anyways, I guess that's it for this area. Onwards, my giant cat mount. Dun, 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 dun. What a cool game. All it took was the cat mount, and I'm like, oh, I'm sold on this. I don't really want to fight these. I don't know what those are. This game's got some real whimsical stuff going on. I'm assuming those are like fast travel points. That's what I'm trying to do, is get to this chest. Ooh, I got leather armband. Now I can add it to my equipment. I love how they're like just still sneaking in tutorial type stuff. Hey, where'd my mount go? I guess I'm supposed to walk into here and it's gonna be some kind of like challenge scenario or something, isn't it? I'm a lone mercenary? Blah, 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 blah. They do actually have cinematics in this game, believe it or not. I just want to go home. Dun 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 dun. This thing is so cool. By far, this is my favorite part of the experience, is now having this giant cat thing to go around with. I can't collect this while I'm on the cat. That's weird. I mean, it's not weird, but, you know, easier to just be on the cat. Hello there. Blah, 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 blah. Find Troy at the encampment. Okay. So it had me run one way just to run back the other way? Thanks. Sup? The character models also look pretty good. I just want to mention that too. Like the clothing and everything like that actually looks really nice. And so does the giant cat! Cat monster! Oh, this is that crafting system? Of course it is. Craft an Okanoka thingy, okay. Where did my cat go? Guess I'll just run over to this guy and be like, hello there. I have to go sleep? I'm learning so much now. There are a lot of mechanics in this one, I gotta say. I'm decently impressed by it.
If I can't find a way, I'll make one!
Oh, whoa, that thing is huge. Haha, didn't see that coming. The scan is currently show. Press RB to do the next scan. Alright, well I'm glad I know this now. Do I get to fight this thing? How do I fight this thing? Oh, scan mode. Lightning strike! Ah, this poor creature. It's actually like a pretty big hog monster. Oh, and you are like, you can have a team too. I guess maybe if that wasn't clear when I was talking about like having a big group of people earlier on in the game. At the beginning, you do have like 4 or 5 people that are together, but everybody dies! Don't get attached to anyone. There's just death and misery in this universe. That's what happens when you fight space aliens that have mechanized robots, and we have giant swords that do, you know, magical stuff. It's hard to fight back, what can I say? Blah, 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 blah. Man, they talk a lot in this. It's 50 hours, but 45 hours of it is the menus you have to keep clicking A through. Elon Village. Oh, that looks nice. It's snowy. Oh, look who it is. Yeah, I think this is one of those cinematics.
You know, you lose your last nail working in the fields. And it just dawns on you. Enough is enough.
Not again, Mom.
I don't care if I lose a few years because of the corrosion. It's okay. For the first time in my life, I can stop and contemplate things.
Contemplate what?
What I've done with my life. You're probably still angry that I sent you to the convent, but
I'm not angry.
I'm glad I did it. I saw a chance for my daughter to become more than a farm girl, and I took it. And here you are, 8 years later, a real sanctorium priestess. I've done something worthwhile, something that will make the gods happy. So, I can die with no regrets.
Are you finished?
Yes, that's what I'm saying, darling. I'm finished.
Listen, I'm sorry to rain on your funeral parade, Mom, but you're not going to die.
Oh, I bloody well know that I am, Selene, and you need to make peace with it.
I won't make peace with it, and that's the reason I came all the way here. To tell you that we found something. There's a cure for the corrosion, and we will find it.
We? And what do you mean by we? Don't you dare bring Daryon into your scheme, Selene. He's capable of deserting over something like this, and you know it.
Well, it's too late now.
Too late?
I already sent the letter.
You did what? Did you even think this through? Do you know what the consort does to deserters?
Believe me, Mother. I've put a lot of thought into this. I know what I'm doing.
You always think you know better than anyone else.
Because I do.
By the gods, is this about the voices?
It's not about the voices.
Is it about the voices? You swore to me that you weren't hearing them anymore.
It's not about either of us, Mom. It's about Daryon. He needs to know.
I kept it a secret for a good reason, Selene. If he deserts because of you, because of this, his death is on your conscience.
He's not going to die. And neither are you. Trust me. You sacrificed everything for us. Broke your back, fell sick, the gods know how many times. Now it's time for us to repay the favor. There's no way we're letting that thing eat you alive. You might be ready to give up, but we're not. I'm not.
You don't understand anything. I didn't save you from the gutter so that you could throw your life away on a fool's errand trying to save me. I know how it works at the Sanctorium. Every second you waste here, you slip out of someone's good graces there. I won't let you waste everything because you're scared of losing me.
My choice is already made.
Go ahead. Waste your precious time running around the country looking for an inexistent remedy, Selene. Even if you find it, I won't take it.
I'll force it down your throat if I have to.
That's not how it works, Buttercup. We're not living in a fairy tale. There's no cure for this.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
When the pain is too much to bear, I'll throw myself on the rocks down there. And everything.
The Nicaru has left? What?